Gonna get that to him.
I don't know. I didn't say it.
River
You
Styx.
did say it. You just said you said it.
I did a great job.
Dude, he's got the best sentence of the day. In the same sentence, he says, dude, I didn't say it. Okay, I did say it.
No, I didn't say that.
You said it.
Yeah,
Wait
you
till
did.
2 o'clock. You'll hear it.
Oh, no, sorry, you said it the
but
other
you
way.
said Gary Tibbetts that night.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of pressure. I did a great job.
Well, pat yourself on the back.
Thank you.
I'll do it.
I can learn.
Well, all right. Did you like that?
I did.
That was great.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Kyle, we'll see you Monday.
That would be lovely.
And Gonzo, I hope you have a great weekend. Stay away from that casino.
It's a problem.
It is. I can tell already.
Shut up.
I can tell.
I went. Oh my god. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend.
Please stay away from the casino.
Dude, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going home.
There's
I'm
a
in the
hotline.
doghouse.
Stay away. Yeah, because of the casino night.
Oh, because of the show.
Because of the casino night.
It's the casino night.
It's really the show?
Can you just be, dude, leave on a good note, an honest note. Walk me
Yeah.
for Gary.
Maddie, thank you.
Oh, thank you. It was a great week.
Thank all of you. And we're gonna let Steve shut down the show today.
Okay, that's gonna do it for this session. We'd like everybody at this time to clear the floor, bring your skates back to the counter, have a great night, and don't forget to tune into the morning show with Peter White on WMNH 95.3 on your dial.
Smoke weed every day.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, free dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street.
Clemento's Pizzeria, family friendly, awesome for a date night. Clemento's Pizzeria. For delivery, call 603-782-8450. Clemento's Pizzeria, the best pizza in town. 1875 South Willow Street in Manchester, New Hampshire. Best cocktails around. Come in as friends and leave as family.
You're listening to WMNH LP, Manchester's radio. Broadcasting at 95.3 megahertz frequency modulation from the top of 1000 Elm Street. Our studios are located at 1045 Elm Street and licensed to Manchester Public Television Service in Manchester, New Hampshire, USA. Contact us at WMNH953@gmail.com or on our website, WMNHradio.org.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
Tell me the truth, baby. Just please be honest, 'cause I already know. Show me what's your next move, baby. Can't be let slip, let your bitches go. Tell me the truth, baby. Just please be honest, 'cause I already know. Show me what's your next move, baby. Can't be let slip, let your bitches go. Perspective pushes through. Hurricane keeping me from you. In the mirror, crystal clearer, but I don't like the view. For me, baby, please fool me, 'cause the passage paper cuts me slow. Delusional, but that's cool, baby. Keep me in my dreams, never let me go. For me, baby, please fool me, 'cause the passage paper cuts me slow. Delusional, but that's cool, baby. Keep me in my dreams, never let me go. Perspective pushes through. Hurricane keeping me from you. In a mirror, crystal clearer, but I don't like that view. So here's a chance to kill me slow. Break your promise, letting me go. Tell me the truth, baby. Just please be honest, 'cause I already know. Tell me the truth, baby. Just please be honest, 'cause I already know. Show me what's your next move, baby. Can't be let slip, let your bitches go. Perspective pushes through. Hurricane keeping me from you. And a mirror crystal clear, but I don't like the view.
On November 6th, the token's value began to fall, losing more than 80% of its worth in the span of 72 hours.
Looks like we got a situation on our hands. Regulators! Mount up. It was a clear black night. He was sitting at home looking at a JPEG on his trusty iPhone. It was a rare NFT of a hipster mouse. So he did what you do. He mortgaged his house and he put in a bid. He was getting the itch. He couldn't sit there while he saw those other people get rich. But then the market crashed. The value deflated. This shouldn't be allowed. They should regulate it. He saw a JPEG. It looked in demand. So he mortgaged his house. Spent 400 grand. We need to pass new laws to prevent this fame. He wouldn't be so dumb if we regulate. Yeah. What? That's not 100% what I was talking about. I mean, the first part was was okay, but it's more like it was a cool, crisp day. He was watching the game. That's when he saw a commercial with folks of acclaim. Crypto returns that'll never default. So he thought, what you think? That sounds too good to be false. Mortgaged his house, researched the rate, checked out the CEO. Nothing seemed out of place, but when he checked one morning, the value was gone. We should make fraud illegal. This is all just wrong. He did his research and he studied up, then bought invisible tokens this guy just made up. It was a harsh consequence for an honest mistake. His IQ wouldn't be 5 if we regulate. You know, on the message boards for the NFTs, I'm one of the smarter people. So, you do the math. It was a lukewarm noon, he's on Capitol Hill, cause he got margin called and was facing a bill. You don't understand, I've lost all that I had. You need to pass more laws, this is terribly bad. Excuse me, thanks for letting me join, but isn't part of the issue him? There's a new dog coin? Maybe the underlying tech is one we shouldn't forestall. It's possible one day, Shiba Inu it's called. If he hadn't been allowed to be a hodler, he wouldn't have the impulse control of a toddler. We could end human nature with a pen stroke today. Why do I have a feeling that they're gonna regulate? You shouldn't prey on folks with financial illiteracy. By the way, have you seen the state lottery? The Powerball's 1 billion, you better not wait. He's gonna make good decisions when we regulate.
It's a great song, but I don't know it.
Welcome, everybody. Here we go. It's that time again. Matt Connerton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. And hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. You can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, for all of your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. Today is Friday, December 9, 2022. So welcome. And by the way, the track that I opened with, the first one that I played, that's a band called Cozy Throne. And they've got a song called Gambit. The reason I played that is they are playing tonight at the Hop Knot right across the street. Of course, the Hop Knot, they do live music every Friday night from 7 to 9 p.m. So Cozy Throne, a great band from Boston. Kenny was really excited when I talked to him the other day about having Cozy Throne there tonight. So that is this evening from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Hop Knot. And then I also played the new track, Regulate. Some of you might remember from back in the day, Warren G, but that's of course, a parody of Regulate. It's called Regulate FTX parody by Remy. And Remy, he just goes by the name Remy, R-E-M-Y, but if you want to find him on the YouTube, that's how you can find him, or go to the Reason TV YouTube channel, and he does a lot of great parodies, and usually when he has a new one, he's usually got a handful of them every year. I usually play it on the show. If it's something that I can, unless it expresses something that I completely disagree with, then I won't play it. But yeah, I love Remy. So that is the FXT parody of Regulate. But yeah, lots going on as far as live music down at this end of Elm Street tonight. I'm so excited I can't talk. Like I said, Cozy Throne at the Hop Knot from 7 to 9. And then I believe starting at 9 p.m. right over here at the 603 Bar and Grill, DJ Reckless will be in the house, as I think the young people say now, in the house. So there you go. So lots going on. Of course, if you'd like to spend the evening with your WMNH family here at 95.3 FM, immediately following this program, of course, we have Retro Spectrum Radio at 6 p.m., hosted by the great Rob Azevedo and his co-host Paulie Stone. And then tonight at 8 p.m. is a replay of last week's Retro Spectrum Radio. So if you missed it, you can hear it tonight, Retro Spectrum Radio with Paulie C, every Friday night from 8 to 11 p.m. And like I said, if you missed last week's show, you can catch it tonight. And then next Friday, we'll have an all-new, brand-new live Retro Spectrum Radio. And so lots going on. Today on this program, by the way, coming up at 5 p.m., Did I say Retro Spectrum with Rob Azevedo? That's what Eric says in the chat room. I misspoke if I did. Granite State of Mind with Rob Azevedo. Did I say Retro Spectrum? I get confused. It's Friday. It's been a busy week around here. My goodness, with the Miracle on Elm Street. And plus, there's all these holiday decorations. I just, no, it's Granite State of Mind with Rob Azevedo. I apologize if I misspoke. But anyway, speaking of Eric Pilcher, coming up today at 5 p.m. as we do on Fridays, we have Eric Pilcher's Classic Film Review. Every Friday, we get a new film review of a classic film from our friend Eric from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And this week, the subject is Meet the Parents, a great pick for the holidays, of course, a classic starring Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro. I remember seeing it in the theater when it came out. Very, very funny movie. And it's got one of my all-time favorite lines of dialogue in the history of cinema. I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me? That's from Meet the Parents. Yes. We all have nipples. It's weird, though. Yeah, men's don't do anything. I think it would be fun if we could do something with them, like at least shoot lasers out of them. That'd be kind of fun. Pew, pew, pew. But no, ours just kind of sit there. They just sit there. They're useless. But anyway, that's all right. But yeah, Meet the Parents is the classic film review this week from our friend Eric Pilcher. So you can look forward to that at 5 p.m. A very, very popular feature on the program. So this is the point in the show, obviously, where I give the number for the studio line. I say, call me up. Let me hear your dulcet tones. And I give all of that information. Well, I'm not going to do that right now. And there's a reason why. Yes, it is. Someone outside is singing. Sorry. Just the sounds of Elm Street. Yes, I hear dulcet tones outside. No. I'm not going to be taking any calls for a few minutes. I have something to discuss. And if you are a regular listener of the show, you know that every once in a while, I'll do a segment where I'm just going to talk about something because I have something to express about a particular issue, and I want to be very careful and deliberate about how I say it. And I don't want to, so therefore I don't want to be interrupted or derailed in any way as I open up this topic. And of course, eventually I'll open up the phone line and we'll take a look at the Facebook live chat and all of that. But I do this every once in a while, every now and then. And it's actually, believe it or not, it's an agonizing decision when I do decide to do this, because one of the many things that I love about doing this radio show is I love the interaction. I love taking calls and interacting with people and hearing different people's opinions. And I take pride that, unlike your standard political talk show, on this show, we really give people the space to express themselves, there's no echo chamber here. A lot of you've heard me complain about, a lot of conservative political talk shows. For example, you have a conservative host who only has on conservative guests and only takes calls from conservative callers, and it's a big celebration of groupthink. I like to talk to all kinds of people: liberal, conservative, libertarian, agree with me, disagree with me. Let's have a conversation. Maybe I'll argue with you, or maybe I'll let you just talk and get your views out, depending on the kind of mood I'm in and so forth. So it's never, it's not a decision I make lightly when I decide, I think today I'm going to take a few minutes at the top of the show, not take any calls, and just talk. But you can probably already guess what it is that I want to talk about today. Of course, we discussed it yesterday on the show, and it was... Tony's making me laugh in the chat room. Our friend Tony Petrello. Tony, did you move to Greensboro, North Carolina? He says, "Good afternoon. I say, how are you, Matt?" From me, Tony. You got to throw a hashtag in there though, if you really want to be from Greensboro. Anyway, if you address me as good afternoon, hashtag Matt. Anyway, so yesterday on the show, of course, we got into it in the second hour about the prisoner swap. We traded Victor Bout back to Russia for Brittany Griner to come back to the United States. And it's all a done deal. She's home. he's back there, all of that. So, it's a pretty hot subject, and we heard from some very passionate people yesterday, both in studio and on the phone and in the chat room. There were some very strong opinions in the Facebook live chat, of course, and I love it. I love all of it. And that's one of the exciting things about doing this show. However, as much as I love that, and we'll do that today. Like I said, I'll open up the phone line in a little bit, but I have some things to say, and because it's such a delicate subject, and because what I have to say is I'm going to bring a little bit of a perspective to this subject that you won't hear on other shows. And again, that's one of the things I try to do with this program is get into aspects of things. We might talk about issues that are commonly discussed in political discourse, but not necessarily certain aspects of them. And I sometimes I have a perspective on things that you don't hear in the mainstream media, certainly. So I want to take a few minutes to do that, because yesterday I found myself, and again, I'm just, like I said, I like to give everyone space to express themselves. Scott Robinson called in, and he had some very strong feelings, and DJ Reckless had some very strong feelings, and everybody had strong feelings. People in the chat room had strong feelings. I was still just trying to sort of process how I feel about all of this, because, I'm glad that Brittany Griner is home. Obviously, at least from my perspective, what happened to her should have never happened. Personally, I don't think we should be locking anybody in a cage for possession and use of cannabis to begin with, let alone a couple of vape cartridges. We certainly shouldn't be locking someone, or the Russians, or no one, frankly, should be locking someone in a cage that is much too small for them, and then ultimately, after they go through their little sham trial, get shipped off to a penal colony in Russia. It's all terrible. But I wanted a little bit of time so it worked out well that, that was yesterday. Now I'm here alone today. I can really kind of, I've had a chance to process this, and I have some thoughts and feelings on it that I want to share with you. And then when I'm done saying what I have to say, then we'll open up the phone line. But here's what I've got for you. So as far as the deal itself, again, apparently the State Department came to the conclusion that they didn't think that Victor Boot was a threat at this stage of things to the United States. And who knows? I'm skeptical about that. I think the idea is that he can't just go right back into the arms trade and just pick up where he left off, but I think he probably can. And I think Putin will probably put him to good use, unfortunately. So that's troubling. Having said that, I'm glad that Brittany Griner is home. And I also, from what I've been reading today, my understanding is that there is a possibility of more deals, and hopefully we can get Paul Whelan back soon. Hopefully this is the beginning of what will be an ongoing process. I hope. We'll see. As far as how I feel about the deal itself, do I think it makes sense? It made sense. Do I think it was a good trade? I'm kind of, you know what? It is what it is. That part is done. I don't really know how I feel about it, because I am concerned about releasing Victor Boot back to the Russians. But hopefully, hopefully there's not a negative consequence to us or our allies as a result of that. But for now, it is what it is. For the purpose of this discussion, I want to leave that where it is. That part is done. The deal is done. The swap has been made. He's home. She's home. That's it. So rather than relitigating that's not what I want to really sort of focus in on this issue today. I don't want to relitigate that today. I mean, we can. We can when I open up the phone line, but for the purposes of what I want to express, I don't want to do that. I want to just leave that aside, okay? It's a done deal. Nothing we can do about it now. If you object to it, can't do anything about it now. But I want to get into the part about Brittany Griner, where I'm seeing something that's very chilling to me. being expressed by people who are angry that we traded anybody, Victor Bout or anyone else, to get her back. What I noticed yesterday, and I noticed it, I certainly noticed it with some people in the Facebook live chat, for example. And this is not an admonition of any kind, by the way. Everybody's free to express themselves however they want. That's one of the things that I love about this show. Like I said, I let everyone express themselves. I never try to police the chat room. You know, if you call into the show and you say something I disagree with, I might argue with you about it. I might let it go if I just don't think there's a point, or if it's late in the show and we're running out of time. You know, it all depends. It all depends. But what I'm seeing a lot of on social media, a lot of it, is people expressing this idea that we shouldn't have traded anyone for her, that we should have just let her rot in Russia. And which I obviously disagree with. I think I've been clear about that. First of all, I don't think what happened to her should have happened to anybody under any government, number one. Number two, if your position, well, let me put it this way, and sorry in advance if I hurt anyone's feelings, but if your position is, oh no, we should have just let her rot, she didn't deserve to be saved, shouldn't have traded her for anybody, just, she's a terrible person and we should have just left her there. If you honestly believe that she got what she deserved, that's, to me, that shows a level of cruelty that I'm actually shocked by. And I have seen on social media people who I know, some people I know personally, people I like, saying things like that, or saying things like, "Oh, she's a drug smuggler. We should have just let her die in a penal colony in Russia. Who needs her?" Things like that. And then of course there's the she hates America, so we can just leave her there. She didn't like America, we should just leave her in Russia. That kind of thing. Now, this is where, again, I'm not a fast talker to begin with. I'm kind of a medium talker. I might start talking fairly slowly. I'm not saying I'm going to take long pauses like Mike Pence. That guy really takes his time. Did you see the town hall he did on CNN? Oh, he really takes his time. No. But I am going to speak very deliberately and carefully because I want to do my best not to be misunderstood. I want to be very, very clear about what I'm saying here. Some people will misunderstand me regardless. I understand that. That's part of the gig. It's fine. But I want to be very clear about my feelings on this. So, the part where, well, first of all, let me start with the drug thing. So people who say, oh, she was a drug smuggler, she tried to bring drugs into Russia. Oh, she broke their law. She should have known better than to break their law, so she got what was coming to her. If that's your position, that she broke the law, she should have known better, so she got what was coming to her, because I'm seeing a lot of that on social media yesterday and today. If that's your position, I'm calling BS. I think you're full of it, and I think you're full of it. Because here's the thing. Any one of you who says that, you would not be saying that if it was someone you liked. You're only saying that because you have a problem with her. Now, the problem you have with her, we'll get to that in a minute. But you're only saying that because it's someone you like. I'm sorry, it's someone you don't like. Because if it's someone you liked, I cannot imagine anyone, any reasonable human on earth saying, oh, well, yes, this is someone I like and respect and admire. Oh, but they got caught with a couple of vape cartridges in Russia. So, yeah, no, they deserve to be sent off to a penal colony for the next couple of decades and of hard labor or whatever. You would never say that. So I say to you, I sound like one of the bots from Greensboro. I say to you, hashtag people who say that, I call BS. You know the real reason you're saying that. You won't admit it. Maybe you can't even admit it to yourself. But if your position is, oh, she got what was coming to her because she broke the law, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. That's not why you think that. Now, let's get to why you do think why you say what you say, and why you say you think that. The real reason so many people have a problem with her is because she spoke up and said things that people didn't want to hear. Now, I have an article here, actually. And I just looked this up quickly earlier because I just wanted to have something to reference here. This is from Sportskeeda.com. Why is Brittany Griner Hates America trending? All you need to know, by Keith McCormick. It's a short article. Brittany Griner Hates America has become a huge trend since news emerged of her release. The WNBA star has been detained in Russia since February 2022 for drug possession. Many have tried to protest for her, primarily because they felt the situation wasn't getting enough media attention. In an attempt to get her home, the president has... okay, we know that. Let's get to the important part here. Okay, why is Brittany Griner Hates America trending? Following the news of the prisoner swap, Brittany Griner Hates America continues to trend. This stems from a comment she made during the 2020 WNBA season. In the summer of 2020, Brittany Griner spoke out about removing the national anthem from the start of games. On top of that, she remained in the locker room until it was done playing and then took to the floor with her team. She said, per the Arizona Republic, quote, I honestly feel like we should not play the national anthem during our season. I think we should take that much of a stand, unquote. On top of not wanting it in the WNBA, Griner believes the national anthem doesn't need to be played in sports in general. Quote, I personally don't think it belongs in sports. Black people didn't have rights at that point. Unquote, Griner said of the creation of the Star-Spangled Banner. Quote, it's hard disrespecting a song that didn't even represent all Americans when it was first made, unquote. I think she meant respecting, but the quote reads disrespecting, so. Following these comments, the narrative started to form that Brittany Griner hates America. In fact, a news station even took a shot at her. As expected, most did not take well to Brittany Griner's comments regarding the national anthem. One news station also used it as an opportunity to feed into the notion that Brittany Griner hates America. Back in August, Brittany Griner received her sentence from a Russian court. At the time, talk about a possible prisoner swap had started to make rounds online. In response to this, an anchor at One America News referred to the WNBA star as an American-hating lesbian pothead. In fact, and by the way, One America News is a conservative news outlet. The exact quote was, quote, a trade, a convicted Russian arms dealer, a.k.a. the Merchant of Death, in exchange for an American-hating lesbian pothead, unquote. All right, so there you go. So that's the gist of it. That's why some people hate Brittany Griner. Some people hate Brittany Griner so much that they think that she deserves to spend a couple of decades in a penal colony in Russia. That's how much they hate her. Guys, it's not about the drugs. It's not about the cannabis. It's not about the vape cartridges. I don't believe you when you say that it is. You're full of it. But here's why. Here's why the misdirection on your part. Now we're going to really, again, sorry in advance if I hurt anyone's feelings. And by the way, I'm sorry if Brittany Griner's words at any point hurt your feelings. But here's the deal, guys. I understand I think we all understand, right? Freedom of speech, freedom of expression. These are constitutionally protected rights under the First Amendment. But I figured something out very early in life. I figured this out when I was a kid. I figured a lot of things out about how politics works when I was a kid. I was precocious. One of the things I figured out very early on is I don't want to say most people, but some people, many people, maybe most people, when they talk about freedom of speech, when they talk about freedom of expression, what they actually mean is, by the way, John Hopwood, I do see your comments in the chat room. John, I love you. I really do. You're one of my best friends, but I swear to God, if missing the point of what I say were an Olympic event, you'd be on a Wheaties box. You're one of the best talkers I know and one of the worst listeners. You completely missed the point, but of course you do. I love you, man, but you're not following what I'm saying at all. But anyway, that's okay. All right. So here's the thing. I figured out very early on in life that when people say freedom of speech, freedom of expression, what they really mean is freedom of speech, as long as you don't say anything that offends me. Freedom of expression, as long as you express yourself in a way that I approve of. Because if you dare express yourself in a way that I don't approve of, I'm going to call you an America hater. I'm going to call you unpatriotic because you dare to offend me and my precious feelings. Now, I understand if you're a critic of Griner, your response, I already know what your response will be. But Matt, she said things that suggest that she hates America. Why? Because she said she doesn't like the national anthem? Why doesn't she like the national anthem? Because black people in America didn't have rights when the national anthem was written? Let me tell you something. I don't feel that way about the national anthem. But if I were black and I heard her say that, I might think, yeah, she kind of has a point there, doesn't she? Now, if you're a longtime listener, you know that I feel that, and to quote Jefferson, although when I say this, I always say this quote is often attributed to Jefferson. There's some speculation that he didn't actually say this, but whoever said it first, I think was right, that dissent is the essence of patriotism. So when people come at it with this attitude of my country, right or wrong, if you ever say anything to criticize the country, well, it is America, love it or leave it, right? Unless, of course, Democrats are in control and you just don't like what they're doing, you can, but, it's remarkable the compartmentalization of that goes on in people's minds. But anyway, there's a lot of people who say, well, if you don't like it here, or if you got a problem with America, love it or leave it, and my country, right or wrong, and you have no right to speak up. And it's like, wait a minute. If you really love America, shouldn't you speak up? If there's something that you don't like, or if there's something going on in your country that you have a problem with, shouldn't you speak up? I think the people who really don't like their country very much are the ones who keep their mouths shut, who don't want to speak up about anything. Of course, these days with social media, it seems like everybody expresses their opinions pretty freely. But here's the real point that I'm getting to, and this is what you probably won't hear anyone else say. And I'm sorry I'm taking a long time to get to this point, but guys, those of you who hate Brittany Griner and who would have been perfectly fine with letting her rot there, I want you to think about one thing, and please, I know I'm snarky, I know I'm sarcastic, I know some of you probably don't like it, but I want you to please, I mean this sincerely, I want you to consider one thing. When you are suggesting that someone who was taken by another country should be left there because you don't like what they had to say and you don't like how they used their First Amendment rights? And you think you're being patriotic for judging them as an America hater? I hate to tell you, but do you really think it's patriotic to be willing to just discard and throw away one of your fellow Americans just because you disagree with what they had to say? Because, again, I see on social media, oh, she broke their laws. She got caught with these vape cartridges. You wouldn't say that about anybody else. You would only say that about somebody who offended you on such a level, who offended your sense of patriotism. I don't even see any evidence that Brittany Griner actually hates America. But even if she did, she's an American. There's nothing patriotic. I know if you just hate her so much because of what she said, you think you're being patriotic, right? But you're not. That is unpatriotic. To be willing to throw away one of your fellow Americans because they said something that you don't like, that is not patriotism. That is not patriotism. You don't have to like her. You don't have to respect her. You can honestly believe, because you're so mad about what she said about the national anthem, you can honestly believe with every cell, with every fiber of your being, that she is the biggest POS that ever walked the face of the earth. But she's still an American citizen. And if you're willing to throw her away for using her constitutional First Amendment right in a way that you don't approve of, that is not patriotism. It absolutely is not. And the irony is that the people who would be perfectly fine with throwing her away wrap themselves in the flag because they think they're being patriotic. Now, again, just to reiterate, or just in case you're joining us, I'm not saying that you're wrong if you object to the deal that was made. I'm not talking about the deal itself. I'm putting that aside. I'm not sure how I feel about the deal itself that was made. So if you have a problem with the deal, I think that is perfectly valid. I think that is perfectly legitimate to have a problem with that. And when I do open the phone line, we can discuss it if you'd like, or any aspect of this if you'd like, right? We can go back to that. I'm just putting that aside for now. I'm dealing with where we are now going forward versus where we've been. The deal, like it or lump it, it's done, right? Everybody's home. So I'm not talking about the deal itself. We can, but right now, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking specifically about the people who are objecting to the deal, not because they think it was imprudent to send Victor Bout back for her instead of trying to work something better or, other possible options. I'm talking to the people who are going on social media and saying, she got caught with drugs. She violated their laws. Let her rot there. We don't need her back. Because you wouldn't say that about somebody you like. That's what I'm saying. And the people who are saying, well, we should let her rot there because, well, she didn't like America, so let's see how she likes being in a Russian penal colony. Like I said, you can hate her as much as you want, but she's an American citizen who exercised her First Amendment rights. No American deserves what she's been through. No human being on earth deserves what she's been through. And you know damn well the only reason the Russians grabbed her. Do you honestly believe, does anyone honestly believe that the Russian government is so concerned about foreigners bringing in cannabis to their country, so they had to arrest her? Because she's obviously a dangerous criminal. She's a drug smuggler. bringing cannabis into Russia. Do you honestly believe that? Of course you don't. Not if you have any sense, frankly. No. They did that. She was an American. They found an excuse to grab her, and they made an example out of her. And this unusually very tall woman, they had her crumpled up in a cage waiting for trial. And in Russia, they have a 99-point-something% conviction rate. If you go to trial, you're probably going to jail or worse. And then they send her off to a penal colony for hard labor. And I'll tell you what. And actually, we had a conversation on the show with Eric Pilcher about it. And Eric did a mea culpa on this. But I saw a lot of people, when that first happened, I saw people on social media just gleeful over what was happening to this woman. Before she was sentenced and sent to the penal colony, I saw people on social media sharing the images of her, this 6-foot-something woman, crumpled up in this little tiny cage, and people sharing out, just gleefully talking about, oh, isn't this great? She hates America. Gee, I wonder how much she likes Russia. Oh, she's getting what she deserves. She badmouthed America. This is what happens. And the cruelty of that it's just shocking to me. Like I said, Eric walked all that back, and he's changed his position on that part at least. But I'll tell you, and again, it's only because, if it was somebody, see, again, it's all because of what she said about the anthem. That's it. All of you who feel that way, if it was somebody you actually liked, you wouldn't care if they got caught trying to smuggle in a kilo of coke to Russia. You'd be like, oh, well, I hope we get them back soon. They don't deserve to be in a penal colony, certainly. Oh, but it's Brittany Griner, and she hurt your feelings with her comments about the national anthem. So now you want her to rot in a penal colony, and it really ruined your day knowing that she's not going to. She's an American citizen. You can hate her all you want to. But I'm glad she's home. And you should be too. One other thing. The war on drugs is not only a scourge on our society in the United States, but other places too. And I know some of you are going to hear that and go, oh my God, Matt, how do you relate everything to the war on drugs? What does this have to do with the war on drugs? Well, I'll tell you. I'll try to be brief. But here in the United States, I have often referred to the war on drugs as the government's war on the American people. We use it to keep our private prisons full, keep that money flowing. The private prison industry, of course, they're one of the reasons why the war on drugs persists. But the war on drugs allows the government to put people in prison and gives the government a lot of power to punish people, minorities disproportionately, as we know. There's plenty of data to show that and statistics to show that here in the United States. But that doesn't only happen here. See, look at what Russia did. So obviously, in Russia, cannabis is illegal. So somebody brings in a couple of vape cartridges and they're going to prison. It's just another example. It's not just here. Countries that have an active war on drugs, they're not doing it. No one is doing it because they genuinely believe that drugs have to be stamped out in their country, or they genuinely believe that prohibition actually does any damn good, because they all know it doesn't. That's not why drug prohibition exists to begin with. Case in point, what happened to Brittany Griner. Does anyone honestly think that they grabbed her and arrested her because they thought that she somehow presented a danger to the Russian people by bringing a couple of vape cartridges into the country? No, they used their laws as an excuse to effectively take an American citizen hostage. It's their war on drugs. All right. So that's my thoughts on the matter. Just to sum up, I promise you, I'll sum up quickly, and then I'll open the phone line because I know John Hopwood is dying to call me and tell me why everything I said is wrong, even though he missed the point of what I was saying. But that's okay. But to sum up, if you have a problem with the deal, I get it. I'm not arguing with you about it. I'm not sure how I feel about the deal itself. But if your problem with the deal isn't that you're concerned about Victor Booth being traded back to Russia, but rather you just think that Brittany Griner's a horrible person and she should have been left to die in Russia, then you are not taking the principled patriotic position that you think you are. You are actually taking an anti-patriotic position because if you believe that an American citizen should actually be punished by another country and you're okay with that, simply because they exercised their First Amendment right in a way, their constitutional right in a way that bothers you, that's not patriotism. That's not patriotism. Oh, and by the way, one thing to add to that too, if you are doing that and you're promoting that point of view on social media, that she should have been left to rot there, congratulations on being a Russian propagandist, by the way. And I assume that most of the people who are doing that probably watch Tucker Carlson every night, so they're conditioned to this mode of thinking. But you're actually spreading Russian propaganda. If you're promoting the concept that it's perfectly fine for the Russian government to take an American hostage, because that's how I see it. They took her hostage. You're fine with that, and you find ways to rationalize it because of what she said about the national anthem or because she had a couple of vape cartridges, and that's how you rationalize that. You're rationalizing the Russian government taking an American citizen hostage. You are a Russian propagandist if you're spreading that. So again, if that's what you're spreading, you are not a patriot. You are not the patriot who you think you are. You can have a problem with the deal all you want to. I might have a problem with it too. I'm not sure. But if you got a problem with her coming home, take the deal out of the equation. You got a problem with her coming home because you would have preferred that she rot there in a penal colony in Russia. That's not patriotism. Because the only reason you're so mad at her is because your feelings got hurt because she doesn't like the national anthem. Get over it. She's an American. You should want her home, and you should want her safe. All right. On that note, I can only imagine how the rest of this hour is going to go, but here we go. 603-250-6007 is the number, 603-250-6007. And our friend Ron is on the line. Hi, Ron.
Yeah, I just wanted to get in before John did. I don't know if the word's eloquently or what, but you really master the art of opening a person's mind, because I changed my my outlook on all of this, and almost to the point where I say, holy cow, I should be ashamed of myself or feel guilty, because I was thinking like the rest. She did what she did. Nobody forced her, but it was so minuscule and so forth. So, I mean, I will always say that I think it was a weak deal. I don't know what Trump's thoughts are on it, but I know in the past he's been stern on deals. He won't take a deal unless it's in his favor. And last but not least, the person that I was trying to speak of yesterday was a defector that we cut a deal for.
Okay.
It turned out to be, I'm not anti-American, but he was an American soldier or something like that. And he defected to Iran or Iraq or something like that. And I think we traded to get him back. So
okay.
Maybe not. I don't know if I have all the facts right, but that's the one I was thinking of yesterday.
It does sound familiar, Ron. It does sound familiar to me, yeah.
All right, so yeah, you gave me a new outlook. It's like sometimes I'm too quick to, throw the whip or something like that, however you say it.
Well, I'm glad, Ron. Thank you. And to be quite honest, I do this more to vent my own feelings. I just kind of assume I'm not going to change anyone's mind because, well, let me put it this way. I don't come into it with the expectation that I'm going to change anyone's mind because most people are pretty hardened in their opinions. And I do this more it's almost like therapy for me. I get to express what I think. And then if I happen to affect someone else's opinion, that's kind of a bonus. It
was a reality check when you brought in, her constitutional rights on America, as an American, and the fact that, it breaks my heart to hear someone say, don't play the national anthem because that's like taking a knee. It just breaks my heart.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, if you're an American, you've got that right to say what you want.
Exactly. Absolutely.
All right, that's it, man.
All right, Ron, thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it.
Yep, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, that was our friend Ron, and that does open up a line for you. 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You can also text me at 617-917-4476, tweet me at Matt Connerton, or send an email to matt@mattconnerton.com. And, of course, you can interact and opine in the Facebook live chat, but the best thing to do is give us a call at 603-250-6007. And I believe our friend Eric Pilcher is on the line. Hi, Eric.
Hello, Matt. I just really, really quickly wanted to say something. What you said actually made me think about something my cousin said back when Colin Kaepernick started this sitting or standing for the national anthem.
Kneeling. He would
he's like,
kneeling.
If the cameras wouldn't have been on him, you never would have known.
Right.
And there's something to be said for that. And the reason I say that is because it goes to your point on patriotism. I think it's called conveniently patriotic.
Mm.
We're, as a country, we're patriotic when we want to be, not all the time.
Right.
And I'm as guilty of it as anyone. I'm not saying I'm above reproach here, but we sit here and we wave our flag when it suits our point or our purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it isn't as if we're sitting here with a blanket patriotic ideology.
Right.
Because what you said about Brittany Griner is 100% correct. She's an American. And before even being an American, she's a human being. I don't care about your religious affiliation, your sexual orientation, your whatever it is. No human being deserves to be treated like that. That should be just the bare minimum, the lowest common denominator. That should be something that anybody can agree on.
Yes. Agreed. Absolutely.
Let's throw political beliefs out of it, standing for the anthem, sitting for the anthem, Black Lives Matter, all of that. Just throw that out. Forget about it. They're human beings.
Yes. Yep.
And and I think with the World Cup being played in Qatar right now, I hope I pronounced it correctly.
Oh, Qatar?
Qatar, yes. I mean, I guarantee you, knowing about sports like I do, if an American athlete were in a Qatar prison right now because they were caught with a 40-ounce of Budweiser, we would be sending UN officials over. We would be sending lawyers. We would be doing the whole nine.
Yeah.
So, look, I don't agree with her stance. Fine, but you're right. She has First Amendment rights. She has the right to say that. I read where someone that served in the military said, I fought so they could sit.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Yep.
We don't have to like it. You don't. You don't have to. I don't personally. But at the end of the day, it is their right.
Yes.
And it is their right to also be protected by their country, good, bad, or indifferent. And it's the same with the police. people that say, well, bleep the police. And then when they get robbed, I use that analogy, oh, they call the cops. Well, yeah, but guess what? The cops are going to be there regardless because that is their job.
Right, right.
They're not going to be like, oh, wow, you have an NWA bumper sticker on your car. All right, well, go find your own stuff. Have a good night.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that's a good analogy.
So it's like, that's the thing, is I think it's conveniently patriotic.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to get past this. And we got to get past well, she said this, she said that, she said this, she said that. No, it's inhumane.
Mm-hmm.
It's not right for a human being. Like, are we that far divided as a country that we just throw away the fact that we're all humans?
Sadly, it does seem that does seem to be the.
When you first brought this up, you actually, to echo what Ron said, really made me think about the things I had said about her.
Yeah.
When I called in and said, yeah, I was wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, that's the thing, is you can't be conveniently patriotic and you can't want a human to be in misery.
Right. Yeah.
And you certainly, all these people that are saying, well, she broke a law, I would ask them, tell me you've never smoked weed.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too. It's like that's a good point, Eric, too. Yes, the basic, just general hypocrisy of people. I mean, almost everyone has at least tried cannabis, and if they didn't go to jail, good, they got away with it, you know. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I mean,
just because you got away with it doesn't mean it's all right. It was still illegal, more than likely, when you did it.
Right. Yeah.
So you are still. I mean, you just didn't get caught.
Right. Right. And you know how I feel. I believe it should be. I actually think it's immoral to begin with that we actually arrest people for cannabis. But
I've always said the laws are the laws, and they're there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I've said that to my friends that partake in it. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to ridicule you. I'm not going to dismiss you. But I tell them it will not take place at my place of residence.
Yeah.
It will not take place around my place of residence.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you get caught, it's on you. Because in Iowa, it's still heavily criminalized.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like, yeah. You know, like, it's... the war on drugs is a whole nother argument. And, you know, I hear people say, well, you know, drugs are illegal, drugs are illegal. This isn't even about drugs.
Right. Exactly.
Like, throw all that out. Just basic human rights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well said.
And that's it. Like, if you look at it just like that, like, I like what Melanie said. If it was your daughter, how would you feel? And I couldn't answer that. But what I can say is this, is that she's a human being.
Yes.
And that I do think that Russia knew who she was. I do think they planned it. I do think she had it on her.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think Russia just was like, oh, we got a major bargaining chip now.
Oh, yeah.
They've done nothing with Waylon. They've done nothing with this person. They've done nothing with that person. We have a professional athlete now.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't think Russia sat there and said, oh, and she's a lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and she's a minority.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They hit 777s on the slot machine with that one.
Oh, yeah. Yep. They seized on that opportunity to make an example of her.
And they knew it.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So, that's the other part of it. So, yeah, I just wanted to say I echo what you said. We need to throw everything else out of it and just look at it as a human rights issue.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm going to go further on your thing, and then I'll let you go. If you're someone who sits there and you say, well, I'm patriotic, and, Brittany Griner, should rot. Okay. But I'm going to turn around and watch the World Cup being hosted in Qatar.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, your patriotism is out the window because you're supporting a country that's making billions off the World Cup that hates our guts.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like you said, it's convenient patriotism.
Or they want to, or they'll watch the LIV golf championship, and it's like, oh, well, nice to know your patriotism goes so far. If you're so patriotic, quit watching the NFL. The minute they said they were going to get rid of the Pledge of Allegiance, don't watch it anymore.
Right.
Burn all your apparel. Don't watch it. Done. Boycott it. If you're that patriotic.
Right. Yeah.
But you won't.
Yep. Exactly.
So
I'm sure there's somebody somewhere who did, but no, I think you're right.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did, and they were yelling. They took their jobs the whole time while doing it.
Yes.
Enjoy burning that $90 Nike hoodie, moron.
That's the funniest thing about when people do that. when people
paid money for it.
when people burn their
at least sell it on eBay and make some of your money back.
It's so awesome when people burn their very expensive stuff and they act like they're like they're getting one over on whoever sold it to them. It's like, what are you doing?
Or when a player leaves a team and they burn the player's jersey, it's like, yeah, that's going to show them.
So bizarre.
Good work. They still got your money.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's symbolic. Yes, it's symbolic that you have room temperature IQ. That's what it symbolizes.
Rocky Huber just said in the chat room, I burnt a Kiss shirt once.
I mean, Rocky, that's very mean. You could have given that to Matt.
Exactly.
I'm sure you could have found many great uses for a Kiss shirt, even if it wouldn't have fit you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If it wouldn't have fit me, I would have still hung it up somewhere.
Made a throw pillow out of it.
Sure. Lots of things.
So, yeah, that's very mean, Rocky. You should have given it to Matt.
That hurts me. He found my Achilles heel. Wow. That's a
man.
Shut.
Next, he's going to come at Metallica.
Oh, yes, your favorite band.
Yes. But, yeah, so, no, that's my 2 cents on it. It's just, if you're going to be patriotic all the way, not just when it suits you or when it fits your narrative.
Yeah, and respect everyone else's patriotism at the same time, and everyone else's rights.
Respect their rights as a human being.
Yep. Absolutely. No, well said.
All right,
well said, Eric.
I will let you go so others can get in.
Yes, and we're gonna. I think Jenny wants to call, and then we're gonna get to your film review. But yes, absolutely. All right, Eric. Thank you so much for the call, my friend.
No problem. Happy to do it, and thank you for having me.
Anytime. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, that was our friend Eric Pilcher from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And in just a couple of moments, we'll get to this week's classic film review. This week, the subject is the film Meet the Parents, a great holiday film. But this is Jenny on the line. Hello.
Hi. I wanted to bring up a couple of points that seem to be getting missed, and I feel they're very important.
Sure.
One thing is that she's a cannabis patient. She wasn't walking around with weed and joints. And she's a patient.
That's right.
She's a patient.
I actually forgot about that.
She's a patient.
You're right. Yeah.
I'm a patient. I mean.
Yep.
So yes, I feel that to myself. She had a couple of carts that, vape cartridges that were the equivalent of a misdemeanor under Russian law. but they prosecuted her as a drug smuggler
Right.
to get back at the United States.
Right, right.
In addition to that, what kind of a precedent would we be setting if now, in order to get assistance at the embassy when you're in trouble as an American, which every American is supposed to have the ability to go to the American embassy for help if they're in a foreign land, if now you have to be qualified under your political beliefs or what you hold near and dear to your heart for that embassy to help you, because that's what we would be creating is a new precedent.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
So those are some pretty big issues in this. And one other thing, and this is the inflammatory thing that I'm going to say, but tough. When Trump was in office and he was buddying up to Putin, he didn't give a crap about our Marine. He didn't make any efforts to get him home. We never heard about him.
Mm-hmm.
He was in that jail rotting when Trump was president. At least Biden trying to get him out.
Yeah.
But ask the family. Look up the family. Look up the writings on that family.
Talking about
and
Paul,
how much
Paul
they've
Whelan.
been begging this world, this nation, to care about that Marine.
Yep. Hopefully, it's finally going to happen. It sounds like there's more.
I hope so.
Trades in the works. It sounds like everyone's open to it. Putin signaled that he's open to it, so that may yet happen. Getting Paul Whelan back. So hopefully,
and they've got him charged with espionage. They're charging him with the equivalency of like a treason here in the United States.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They charged her as a smuggler.
Yeah.
And she was a patient with 2 vapes. I mean...
Yeah. No, I'm glad you brought that up.
Put things in perspective.
I forgot. Yeah, I completely forgot about that part about her being a cannabis patient. That's an excellent thing to remind people of.
I think we should be really concerned about setting such a dangerous precedent that an American citizen in a foreign land may not go to the American embassy for help if they didn't vote for the right guy.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Well said, Jenny. Well said.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Jenny leaves us, and we're going to get to, let's get to this, Eric Pilcher's classic film review. This week, the subject is Meet the Parents, so we're going to give this a listen. Eric did a great job this week, so I look forward to sharing this with you. And then we're going to show some love to our amazing sponsors, and then we'll come back with the balance of our program. This is Matt Connerton Unleashed, and we are live, and there is plenty more to come. Don't go away.
Dad, Greg grew up in Detroit.
He told me he grew up on a farm.
Do they have many farms in Detroit?
No, Dina. No, not a lot. In fact, Jack, I should clarify this. I didn't actually grow up in a farm per se. The house that we grew up in was originally erected in the early Dutch farm colonial style. So that, plus we had a lot of pets.
Which one did you milk then?
Dad,
Honey, he said he pumped milk.
what have you ever milked?
Cat?
A cat?
I milked a cat once. You want to hear a story?
Sure.
My sister had a cat, and the cat birthed a litter of kittens. Must have been 30 of them. And there was this one little runt, this little sweet little engine that could run, who could, wanted to get up there and couldn't really get access to the teat. Teat?
Dad.
What have you. I went in and just simply, just into a little saucer, and then took the saucer and fed it to Geppetto. That's what I named him, Geppetto.
I had no idea you could milk a cat.
Oh yeah, you can milk anything with nipples.
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
Okay, could we change subject, perhaps?
Oh, champagne.
Yes.
I thought maybe we could celebrate with a little bubbly.
That'd be great. Oh, good. Good idea.
So, Mom,
I have nipples. Can you milk me?
Well, in a funny way, honey, you've already seen Deb's ring.
That's true.
Would anybody care for a bottle of Oyster Bay Drug and Sundry's finest champagne?
That is so sweet of you, Greg. Isn't that a nice gesture?
That's very nice.
How could I have seen Debbie's ring, Mom? I haven't been home for months.
Well, when I gave Bob the okay to propose to Deb, I put him in touch with my diamond guy in the city, and he picked out the exact same design that Kevin gave you.
Kevin, your old boyfriend?
Thanks, Dad.
Well, yeah, Kevin was Pam's fiance.
Oh!
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 Oh my God. Jinxie, no! Psst!
Oh!
Jinxie, no!
The in-laws. These individuals can strike fear, loathing, and yes, even love into the hearts of many during the holiday season. Although many do feel love towards their in-laws, they can often recollect feeling immense dread towards meeting them for the first time. This week's film shows us that dread can be a fair emotion to have, and in some cases, possibly understated. Released in 2000 and directed by Jay Roach, Meet the Parents tells the tale of Greg, played brilliantly by Ben Stiller, a man that wants to ask his girlfriend Pam for her hand in marriage. Standing in his way is the approval of her father, Jack Burns, played by screen legend Robert De Niro, a man that is a retired CIA agent and has a controlling nature in regards to his family. Our next two clips shows the interactions between Jack and Greg. First, we hear Jack give Greg a polygraph test. Then, in our second clip, after Jack's son Denny finds a marijuana pipe in a jacket he lent Greg, it is Denny's pipe, he confronts Greg. Note the comedic awkwardness in these two scenes between these two great actors, and how well they play off of each other.
Looking for something, Greg?
Oh. Jesus, Jack, you scared me.
Well, I heard a noise, so I came down to see if everything was okay.
Everything's fine. I'm sorry. I saw a light on in here and I kind of stumbled in and I didn't realize.
Well, that's okay. See anything interesting?
No, not at all. I mean, this is great though. I love this. It's a cozy little nook.
I noticed you were looking at that when I came in.
Yeah.
It's an antique polygraph machine.
Is that what that is? Because I've seen these before, but I never saw one actually up close.
You know what? Why don't you try that on?
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, come on. We'll have some fun. I'll show you how it works.
Yeah, I shouldn't.
Well, why should you be afraid? You have nothing to hide.
No, I know.
I know you know, so there shouldn't be any problem.
No, there's no problem.
So, try it on.
Okay.
I'll help you. Don't worry. You'll enjoy this. All right.
Looks complicated. Now, these aren't 100% accurate, right? They're...
Well, you'd be surprised how accurate they are. They can tell fairly easily if someone's lying or not. Now I'm going to ask you some questions, and all you have to do is answer yes or no.
Okay.
All right. Let's give it a whirl. Did you fly on an airplane today?
Yes, I did.
No peeking. Did we eat pot roast for dinner tonight?
Yes.
Was it undercooked?
No, it was rare. It was a little rare for my taste. But I'm
just kidding. I'm just... Relax, relax. The needles are jumping. Have you ever watched pornographic videos?
No. I mean, well, I don't...
Yes or no?
And now, our next clip.
Denny, how's the tux fit?
Dad,
What's that?
it's a sculpture I found in Greg's jacket.
This isn't a sculpture, Denny. This is a device for smoking marijuana.
Really?
Not mine. It's not. Oh, hey, Jack. How you doing? Like the top hat. It compliments you.
Can I talk to you for a minute? Sit down. Did I not clearly explain the circle of trust to you, Greg?
Yeah, I think I got it.
Then is there something you want to tell me?
I don't think so.
Didn't we have a discussion yesterday in the car about this?
Oh, yes. You mean me and Pam? Yes, I would love to talk to you about
We're
that.
not talking about Pam, Greg. We're talking about you. See, if I can't trust you, Greg, then I have no choice but to put you right back outside the circle. And once you're out, you're out. There's no coming back.
Well, I would definitely like to stay inside the circle.
Well, then tell me the truth.
Okay. Jack, I don't know what we're talking about.
All right, now look, I'm a patient man. That's what 19 months in a Vietnamese prison camp will do to you. But I will be watching you, studying your every move. And if I find that you are trying to corrupt my firstborn child, I will bring you down, baby. I will bring you down to Chinatown.
As comedic and at times uncomfortable as the interactions between the two stars are, the film is a cacophony of hilarious awkwardness. This is notable when Greg meets Pam's ex-fiancé, Kevin, played by Owen Wilson. Kevin miserably tries cultural appropriation to relate to Greg's Jewish heritage, and then awkwardly recounts his relationship with Pam.
Wow. Looks like somebody got an A in woodshop. Yeah, it's always been kind of a hobby. I whittled that out of beech wood. Huh, it's beautiful. So what got you into carpentering? Carpentry? I guess I'd have to say Jesus. He was a carpenter, and I just figured if you're going to follow in someone's footsteps, who better than Christ?
Greg's Jewish.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, so was JC. Wow, you're in good company.
Well, I'm going to head to the pool, but why don't you show Greg and Pam a gift? Made a gift.
Greg. Now, I just put a fresh coat of lacquer on this morning, so bear with me with the fumes.
Wow, Kev,
Isn't that something?
that's incredible.
Thank you.
Roses, Deb's favorite.
Yes,
It's
right.
beautiful. The little holes for candles. I
Well,
guess.
exactly, and then later they'll collect rainfall and make a tiny bird bath.
That's great.
It's beautiful. What is it? It's an altar. Or you might call it a chuppah.
Isn't that sweet?
I'm gonna take it over to the Burnses, and tomorrow Robert and Deborah will meet beneath it to become man and wife. And later, when they purchase a home, maybe it'll grace their garden. Or that's my sappy romantic idea.
Must have taken forever to build.
Yeah, not too bad, about 70 hours. Which isn't bad considering I carved it all by hand from one piece of wood.
Hey, Kevo, 12:15. Time to start the barbecue, big guy.
Okay, Mr. B. I better get back to playing host. Okay, you guys, you just grab your suits and I'll meet you down at the pool.
You know what? I think I'm going to take a pass on the swimming.
Oh, I know you can.
No, I don't even have a suit with me. The airline lost my bag, and
Pancake, let's go. Mom's got your suit out here.
Coming, Dad.
You better get going. Gosh, she's great. Congratulations, man.
thank you. And by the way, she just had the nicest things to say about you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Gosh. Yeah, we had some good times together. Boy, she is a tomcat.
At the end of this film, Jack and Greg find some common ground, albeit after many hilarious encounters and lies on Greg's part to stay out of Jack's crosshairs. Our final clip is the last interaction between Jack and Greg as adversaries. This occurs after Greg is taken in custody at an airport when he tries to leave the weekend's festivities and has an outburst after all the stresses he has endured.
How did you get here?
I'm everywhere.
I didn't do anything, Jack.
Yeah, I know.
Well, then tell these guys that I'm not a terrorist.
Listen, I'm not going to tell anybody anything until you answer some questions. Unless you want to spend the next couple of years of your life in prison, you better damn well tell me the truth. No more lies, you understand? No more lies.
Did you do this?
Just answer the question.
Did you have me taken off of that airplane?
Just answer the question, put your hands over there. That's it.
You're sick, you know that?
Is your name Gaylord Fokker, yes or no?
Yes.
Are you a male nurse?
Yes.
Are you a pothead?
No.
Have you ever smoked pot?
Yes.
Did you spray paint the tail of a cat to pass him off as Mr. Jinx?
Yes.
And did you do that because you desperately were seeking my approval?
Yes.
Because you love my daughter Pam?
Yes.
Do you want to marry her? Do you want to marry her?
I did. Till I met you.
What does that mean?
I love your daughter, Jack. I love her more than anything. But frankly, sir, I'm a little terrified of being your son-in-law. This whole weekend has given me a lot of doubts about whether or not I could even survive in your family. I think you've got some serious issues.
If I lighten up, would you consider marrying my daughter?
Would you lighten up a lot?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Would you let me and Pam live our lives and not interfere all the time?
I promise not to interfere in your lives all the time.
Will you stop making fun of me for being a nurse?
Could you at least try maybe to consider another profession?
Jack, yes or no?
Ever?
No!
Okay, yes.
Would you let me and Pam sleep in the same room?
Don't push it. You're in a real mess. If you married my daughter, would you support her in the way that she deserves to be supported?
Yes.
Would you be honest and faithful to her?
Yes.
Will you devote yourself entirely to her for the rest of your life?
Of course.
Gaylord Fokker? Will you be my son-in-law?
This film was an unexpected success. It made $28.6 million its opening weekend. Its final worldwide gross was over $166 million. Over the next 12 years, it spawned 2 sequels, and to this day is revered as an early 2000 comedy classic. The performances from top to bottom, the visual nuances that the characters give each other, the story, and the ability that this film gives to the viewer to cringe and laugh at the same time is what makes this film truly exceptional. For anyone with in-law angst this holiday season, or just anyone in search of a major league laugh, I give this film a very high recommendation. You will not be disappointed. I hope you join me next week when we keep up with the theme of family this month and look at a crime-ridden, unconventional family. We will take a look at the counterculture crime masterpiece, Arthur Penn's 1967 film, Bonnie and Clyde, starring Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway. For WMNH and Matt Connerton Unleashed, this has been a Classic Film Review with Eric Pilcher.
Look at the light coming on. Show me a man who's gentle and kind.
Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, 3 dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetry.com. WMNH.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Clemento's Pizzeria, family friendly, awesome for a date night. Clemento's Pizzeria. For delivery, call 603-782-8450. Clemento's Pizzeria, the best pizza in town. 1875 South Willow Street in Manchester, New Hampshire. Best cocktails around. Come in as friends and leave as family.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
WMNH, rip the knob off.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's Matt Connerton Unleashed as we cruise into our final segment today. Here from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. And hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. You can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, for all of your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. Today is Friday, December 9, 2022. So welcome, and let's see. Tonight at the Hop Knot. Actually, I just realized a few minutes ago, they've got 4 bands total this weekend. Tonight at the Hop Knot, they've got Cozy Throne, a really great Boston band. But they've also got a few bands tomorrow night, beginning at 9 p.m. They've got TFR, Already Dead, and The Graniteers. So that all happens tomorrow night at the Hop Knot. So they've got a lot. They've got a lot going on this weekend. They have more going on this weekend than I even realized. And hey, the pretzels ain't bad either. And of course, a delicious craft beer. So please make sure you visit the Hop Knot, and we would appreciate that. But yeah, Cozy Throne tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. and starting at 9 p.m., I believe, at the 603 Bar and Grill. DJ Reckless will be there. As he was last night. He'll be back tonight. So lots going on for live music down at this end of Elm Street. If you'd like to spend the evening, of course, with your WMNH 95.3 radio family, immediately following this show at 6 p.m., we have Granite State of Mind, hosted by the great Rob Azevedo and Paulie Stone. And then coming up tonight at 8 p.m. is a replay if you missed last week's Retro Spectrum Radio with Paulie C. And our friend Shannon is on the line. Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Matt.
What's up?
What was it? I like his choices, Eric's choices for the I forget what you call it.
The classic film review.
Thank you. I was just cracking up. I'm going. What's the? Is it Meet the Flockers?
It was Meet the Parents.
Meet the Parents.
Which
you said there were 3 movies.
Huh?
I think there was Meet the Parents because it's the Flockers.
Right. Meet the Parents was the first one in the series.
And then because Greg, the one that he played tonight was Greg Falker.
Right.
However you say it.
Right.
Okay. So there's I think you said there was 3 in the series, and I just laughed. It was hilarious.
Yes, absolutely. It's a great film.
And he had done one a couple of weeks ago, or a little bit ago, about, oh God. I don't remember, but it was funny, too. Sorry.
That's okay.
I have long-term loss of short-term memory, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, yes, Eric's film reviews are a very popular segment on the show. I'm glad you enjoy them.
Yes, and one quick thing that I wanted to say, because I'm able to say it on your show.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing with Brittany Griner, and she doesn't have to like any place or anywhere or whatever. But when you brought up Colin Kaepernick,
yeah, I think Eric mentioned him. Yep, Colin Kaepernick. Yep.
Eric was right when he said if the cameras weren't on him, no one would have ever known. I made a big damn deal about it. But when I heard that, and my Pepe was in the Army, and he had a lot of black guys in his, is it platoon or battalion?
Battalion?
I think so, yeah. He was a captain. And, I'm not a prejudiced person, and I think I got that from my Pepe, but the point is, doesn't Colin or any people that have his viewpoint realize that a lot of black men died fighting for this country?
Right, yes, Shannon. A lot of black men did die fighting for this country and fighting for the right of Colin Kaepernick or Brittany Griner or anyone else to speak their mind and protest. Yes, yes, you're right, Shannon. A lot of black men have died for this country fighting for all of our rights, including the First Amendment. Yes, that's true.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I'm sure he does realize that. I'm sure it's occurred to him, yeah.
Well, no, maybe I just misunderstand. Sometimes I just misunderstand things, then I call and I sound stupid.
No, you don't sound stupid. I'm just answering what you brought up.
Yeah, well, I was headed for bed an hour ago, and then or however long ago, and I heard that coming up, and I just wanted to call and say I appreciate the, oh my God, the review.
Yes.
The film review.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, very good. All right, Shannon.
Well, you have a nice weekend, and if you get over to the Hobknot, get one of those hot dog pretzels that Peter White is so fond of.
Absolutely, yes. Everyone loves the Hobknot. All right, Shannon.
Have you had one?
Of course.
You've had a hot dog pretzel?
I've had that, yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. All right, Shannon.
Well, have a beautiful weekend, and I'm glad Jenny pictures got raffled, and I'm sure they were beautiful.
Absolutely, of course. All right, Shannon, thank you for the call. Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right, bye-bye. All right, that was our friend Shannon. That does open up a line for you, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007, if you'd like to chime in. Don't put it off because, of course, we do have, any minute now, of course, we'll have Rob Azevedo and Paulie Stone joining us. But if you'd like to get in with a call, actually, I think we have a call from our friend Charles Richardson from the great state of Florida. Hi, Charles.
Hello. I was about ready to go to bed too, but I sound like I'm a little bit more lively right now. So, number one, the three films are Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, and Little Fockers. Just to go ahead and give that trivia out there. So, what was going on here? I have to apologize. I haven't been listening to the show recently. That's not even up to me. I'm busy with the little one, but
sure.
So what's going on with Colin Kaepernick? What's new in here? Why was his name being mentioned?
Oh, his name just came up because we were discussing Brittany Griner and protesting and all of that. That's all.
Oh,
yeah.
You know something, and I'll go ahead and put my 2 cents in on this one.
Sure.
So Brittany Griner, everybody was clamoring to free her. Then all of a sudden, once she finally gets free. And I don't know if it's been mentioned before, but it's gotten a lot more popularity now. This other gentleman, I don't know his name, but apparently he was formerly in the army or military or something like that.
Paul Whelan.
He's stationed in Russia now, or was, or has been.
Paul Whelan.
It's like, well, Brittany Griner has actually committed a crime, and this one has committed a crime, but Brittany hates America. This one actually served in America. Why are we trading terrorists for a basketball player? Why are we trading terrorists, period, to go ahead and get somebody out of prison? What does she contribute to society except making a layup? She's
an American citizen who was sent to a Russian penal colony for having a couple of vape cartridges on her. She's as Jenny pointed out earlier, she's a cannabis patient, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, we generally, Charles, when American citizens are being taken hostage, which is how I would define it, by a foreign country, we do try to get them back.
But isn't our thing, don't negotiate with terrorists? Would that be considered a terrorist at this point in time, or a terrorist act?
Would what? Wait, who's the terrorist? What do you mean?
Russia, going ahead and holding our people hostage. Is that considered a terrorist act? You know what I'm saying? It's like, they're going ahead. It's like
trying to follow you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm using the wrong terminology. I'm just over here thinking it's like we don't, if somebody goes ahead and takes over something, we don't negotiate. Like, we don't give in to their demands. Is this a demand that Russia was given? Like, we need to go ahead and have one of our allies back so we can go ahead and cause more terrorist acts with this guy, and then we'll go ahead and give you a basketball player back, but you're American citizens.
Well, prisoner swap negotiations are always ongoing between the United States and Russia, and with other countries too. So this was the deal. We trade Victor Bout, who is a convicted arms dealer. We traded him for Brittany Griner. My understanding is the administration wanted to get both Brittany Griner and Paul Whelan, but unfortunately, Brittany Griner was the only one the Russians were willing to give up. But hopefully, Paul Whelan will be able to get him back soon in another trade.
Okay, so this is normal then. What you're trying to say is there's terrorist swaps going on with every country, pretty much.
Well, we always, it's the policy of the American government. If another country has one of our citizens either literally taken hostage or in a sense where what happened to Brittany Griner, where she was, what was done to her, it's a misdemeanor in Russia, but they treated it like a felony and sent her away to a penal colony, which is horrific. No human being should have to suffer that. We try to get people back, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I just didn't think that was an actual thing, whereas there's trade of prisoners. See.
Oh, yeah.
A movie I watched, it's a comedy movie by M. Sandler, Don't Mess with the Zohan. They're treating it like a joke. I didn't think that actually existed.
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah. No,
wow.
That's a real thing. Prisoner swaps. Yep.
Do you agree with that swap? I mean, I understand. Listen, I feel bad for Brittany Griner, don't get me wrong, but you're going ahead and trading a pretty big terrorist to do it.
Well, I'm concerned about who we traded back. But
yeah, that's what I mean.
So I'm not exactly sure how I feel about that. I do have some concerns about that, but that part is a done deal. So I've kind of set that aside for now, and I'm just glad that Brittany Griner is home.
I hear. Now, is she going to continue serving time under American soil, or
no?
Is she going to be set?
She's not charged with anything here.
Okay, so she's set free. It's the same thing as the vice versa for the other guy. Is the other guy set free again?
Oh, Victor,
or do we know that?
Victor Bout? Yeah, he's now free in Russia, and unfortunately, and this is kind of a downside of the whole thing. Unfortunately, Putin is already using him as kind of a political hero.
Oh boy!
Yeah, that's kind of the bummer of the whole thing. But like I said, the deal is what the deal is. It's done. But I am glad that Brittany Griner is home.
Yeah, I guess celebrate that, and hopefully the other thing doesn't come back to bite us in the behind.
Yeah, exactly. And there is always that possibility, but we'll take it as it comes, I suppose. But yeah, hopefully they can get Paul Whelan back soon, and others too. I mean, there's more people. They have more of our people. We have more of theirs. There's plenty of swaps that could be done in theory, and I hope they.
So we should do it. Just a whole prison swap. We just take all the Russian prisoners that we have and trade for all the American prisoners they have, and just be done with it. Like clean slate. Right?
Maybe after the war in Ukraine is over, maybe we can do that.
Like, where are all the agents for these prisoners to do these swaps and deals and stuff like that? It's like a multi-year contract in the works with somebody else if they do a trade. Maybe it's a multi-team trade or something like that. It just sounds really weird to me, but yeah. I'm glad Brittany's back home, but I think we could have done a lot better with what we gave up.
Yeah, well, that was the goal apparently, but it is what it is.
All right, I'll let you go.
All right, Charles. Thank you for the call. All right, that was our friend Charles Richardson from the great state of Florida and host of the Charles Richardson Show. And joining us in studio on the couch, we have Rob Azevedo and Paulie Stone here. How are you guys?
Hello. How are you?
Good,
Yep,
good.
that's great news about Brittany. I agree.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard much of the first. Well, it was really the first hour of the show. I actually kept the phone off for a while because it was one of those things where I just wanted to express what I felt. And, I see a lot of the Britney haters on social media saying, oh, should have left her there. She's a drug smuggler, all kinds of just awful things. And it's like, God, after everything this woman has been through, you know, and then to be treated that way by her fellow Americans.
Yeah, cowards.
It's
cowards.
awful.
I don't know. I followed it, and my heart broke mostly because you hear of prisoners of war and all of that, but because she's a woman. What kind of because she's a woman. That's why I felt very, very bad for a woman to be thrown into a Russian prison.
Oh yeah.
I think it was just. I mean, really, at the end of the day, the offense was so minor that probably I can't even count how many people crossed our borders this way, that way, with things far worse than that.
Oh, of course.
And she gets railroaded and made example of.
Unlucky. Don't take drugs to other countries.
Yeah, no, don't.
That's a lesson.
Well, as Jenny pointed out earlier too, she's actually a cannabis patient. So she had a couple of vape cartridges. That's all it was. But, but they used it as an excuse to grab her and make an example of her. We have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connerton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hi, Matt. It's Scott.
Hey, Scott. How you doing?
Good. Listen, when a hostile country invades another country, you don't go into that country with drugs on you that are illegal. You're setting yourself up for failure.
Right.
That's the problem I have here.
Yeah, you're right.
And I feel bad that she got thrown in jail. And I hate people who say, well, she got freed because she's black and homosexual and blah, blah, blah. That stuff pisses me off, too.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to say is she should have enough sense not to go to a country that does not allow marijuana during a time of war when they hate the United States of America.
Yeah, she made a mistake.
You got to use
sure.
You got to use common sense. No, it's common sense. She thought she was above the law.
I don't know if she thought she was above the law. Sometimes people forget things are in their luggage. She might have misunderstood something. She is a cannabis patient. Maybe she thought because she was a patient, she was allowed to have it. I mean, you're making a lot of assumptions, Scott. But regardless, personally, I don't care if she did think. I don't care if she was super arrogant and did think she was above the law. I didn't like seeing her crumpled up in a cage, being treated like an animal, and I didn't like her then seeing her go through that sham trial and then being sent to a penal colony in Russia for hard labor. So, you know what, Scott? I don't care if she's the most arrogant human on earth and thought that she can just go through life doing whatever she wants. I don't care. She does not deserve what happened to her. And then she comes home and she has people criticizing her and crapping all over her and saying she hates America, or saying what you're saying. Oh, she should have known better. After what this woman has been through, Scott, can we maybe have a little compassion for her? I mean, come on, man.
Absolutely.
I have compassion. Listen to me. But she should have known better. At that exact time, when she went there, she should have known better. She should have double-checked her luggage.
We all make mistakes.
She should have double-checked her.
Should have known.
We all make mistakes.
I don't think she deserved. I don't think she deserved what she got. Don't get me wrong. I don't.
Okay, good. I'm glad you clarified that.
But don't go there, Matt. Don't go there. In that specific time, when things are so screwed up, and think you're going to get through. That's stupid.
Yeah. Oh, she made a mistake.
That's stupid.
She made a mistake. Yeah, agreed.
I don't think that she should have been thrown in jail like that. No, I don't. But you know what? Don't go there and...
I guess what I'm confused about, though, Scott...
Do you understand what I'm saying, Matt?
I understand what you're saying.
Don't go there.
I understand what you're saying, and you say you have compassion for her and all that, and yet you seem so angry at her for making the mistake. And I'm a little confused about that. I'm a little thrown. Like, why are you so mad at her for making a mistake, even though you have compassion for her?
Was it a mistake or was it ignorance? That's what I'm trying to think. Did she think she was above the law there? She didn't have to go there.
She wasn't like
she wasn't going there to
she
visit
wasn't
family.
bringing in a pound. She had 2 vape cartridges.
Yeah.
Scott,
It doesn't
Your compassion is remarkable. this is quite the
No. Listen. I don't think she should have deserved what she got.
Okay, good.
I don't.
You're sure?
All right, let's.
Are you sure?
I am positive.
Okay, good.
I am positive.
Okay, good.
But Russia invaded Ukraine at the same exact time she was going there.
Yeah. Oh, I would have been terrified to go over there. I wouldn't have gone.
Dude, I don't even like going to Revere.
Exactly. So why would you bring something into the country you knew was wrong? You knew she knew she was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So why do it?
Yeah,
That's the only problem I have. That's the problem I have.
I don't know. You have a speed.
Okay.
I mean,
right, but you know what? If somebody's got a prescription for something and she's a patient, it's no different than taking your heart or your blood pressure medication or your this medication or whatever.
Yeah,
here in the United
No,
States,
that's not true because
it's
you're going to a
medication.
foreign country. You have to know their rules.
Well, maybe she asked the WNBA and they gave her some wrong information. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, we haven't heard from her. I mean, I'm sure she's going to make the rounds when she's ready, doing some media interviews, and we'll get her side of the story. We don't know her side of the story yet either, Scott.
Scott,
you're right.
Scott,
I am not saying what she deserved. What she got was what she deserved.
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying in that time frame, when Russia is invading Ukraine,
yeah,
and the U.S. is saying to Russia, "Don't invade Ukraine." You don't go there and break the rules because you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
well, can't argue with that. All right,
Scott, you act like you've never brought a little bit of weed on a flight down to Tampa for a long weekend. You know what I mean?
Listen to me. I've smoked marijuana once in my life and I hated it.
Oh well,
All right?
hey, you should go do 10 months in a prison camp for that because you just made a mistake. Was that arrogance that you did that?
I don't do drugs.
You just said you did.
When I did drugs, I was in high school. But guess what? I didn't take my drugs in a time of war, and not our war.
Well, when did you take?
But
When did
war,
you take those drugs? There had to have been a war going on.
I didn't. Listen. I didn't take my drugs over another country. Not even Mexico. All right. I mean, nothing.
I hear you.
You don't set yourself up for failure, especially in that time.
All right,
I'm
man.
sorry.
Well, we
You don't do
appreciate
it.
your opinion. Very much so.
All right, Scott. Well, like I said, I'll be interested.
Matt, I love you.
Oh,
and I agree with you.
Same.
9/10 of the time.
Only 9/10.
She set herself up for failure.
No, all right, Scott. Well, I just like I said, I will be very interested to hear her side of the story when she makes the rounds. But no, we love you too,
Can
man.
I talk to Rob for 1 second?
I appreciate your passion. Oh yes, go ahead.
Hello,
Rob. You still sound like Joe Kelly Lavasser. Ha!
Oh,
talking about Joe.
We don't. Okay. Yeah, we don't talk about the local politicians, but all right. Well, very good. Well, thank you, Scott. And no, I like Scott very much. I appreciate his passion, and he is a loyal listener. I just, but like I said, we don't know her side yet. You know, she might have gotten some bad information. She might have been told, "Oh, you're a cannabis patient. You can." You know what? We don't even know if she even really had the stuff on her.
Let's just
It
assume.
could have been planted on her.
Now, let's just assume she brought some vape weed.
What's the big deal? It's medication in so many parts
Maybe it
of our
helps
country.
her sleep, man. So
Right.
she was like, I can slide this
People
through.
take
I'm not gonna-
antidepressants. People take, anti-anxieties. All this stuff messes you up just like smoking a little weed does. And if she's got the prescription, oh,
We got
okay.
We got one more call, but we got to make it quick. Hi, caller. Go ahead.
Hi, Matt. It's Gary.
Hey, Gary. Quickly.
Yeah, on the Britney thing, she plays basketball for a Russian team to make more money. Okay, she plays for a Russian professional team over there.
Yeah.
She had a bag that she has packed all the time when she's ready to go after she plays for her team here.
Yep.
And what she did was supposedly this is one of the stories was she had it in the bag and she didn't know it was in that bag because it was her traveling bag. She travels with the regular team she plays. She brought it with her, and that's where they found it. She plays basketball there every year. It's not that she just went for a lovely trip to Russia.
Right.
She plays basketball for a professional Russian team.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it happened.
Yep.
They found her, they saw her, and they said, "Hey, celebrity, all right, let's go get her."
Yep,
you know,
exactly.
That's all it was. And yeah, you know, it's good to see her home because she looked like this caged animal when she was in that cage,
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
not right for anybody.
Heartbreaking.
You know,
Heartbreaking.
Anybody, but that's the story.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm glad you
She's
called.
a professional.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
All right, Matt.
All right,
Love
Gary.
you.
All right, love you.
Love you, Jenny. She was right too. She is a medical. She takes medical marijuana. So
Absolutely.
love you both.
All right, love you, Gary. Thank
And,
you. Thank you
yeah,
for the call.
Azevedo, I'll be listening to you.
Thank you,
Bye.
brother. Thank you.
Excellent. All right, thanks, Gary. Have a good weekend. All right, excellent call from Gary, and that's good to get the story straight there.
And
All
on
right.
a positive note.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
we got to wrap up so we can get these guys on. What do you guys
We
have
got
coming up?
Waterbury, a band. They got a brand new CD. I think they're mostly Manchester guys.
Okay.
We saw them on the outside there. They look like they're going to play the Superdome tonight, so they brought enough equipment. And then the 6:30, we're not getting kicked out of here, so I think we're going to go over to about nearly 7:30 tonight.
Yeah.
And then we have old friends of ours, members of the Southbound Outlaws down in Newburyport, Massachusetts. They're going to come up and play some Christmas tunes, but I gather it's going to be some kind of fun, rocking,
excited.
Excellent.
Greasy time kind of Christmas tunes.
We had some great shows in the barn, so I'm excited for another good show here in the studio because it's a lot of fun.
Very cool.
Thank
Very
you.
cool. Absolutely. Thank you, guys. And that'll be coming right up if you're listening live on Friday night. Of course, Granite State of Mind coming up at 6 p.m. with these amazing gentlemen and their amazing guests. So stay tuned for that. And if you miss any part of this show, it will be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org and at my website, mattconnerton.com. I'm going to get out of here. These guys are up next. Stick around, and I'll talk at y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.